Hello and welcome back to
Hi,
Tuesday
guys.
Talks.
Welcome.
We are here and we would like to discuss perseverance with all of you and what that looks like and how it relates to children.
Yes.
So first we'll discuss what does perseverance mean to us or to me. I see it as in a moment where I'm like, this isn't necessarily what I really want to do right now. However, I'm going to persevere. I'm going to push through this resistance. I'm going to do it anyway because I know that the outcome will benefit me, will lead to some bigger cause. And I think that plays a role in a lot of our lives from very young to adults. As an adult, I think there's a lot of things that we do every day that we're like, maybe this isn't exactly what I want to do right now, but I know that it's going to lead to something I want.
Yes.
And that starts when you're young in several different things, whether it's school or sports or yoga, for example. Yoga can be really intimidating in the beginning when you see people who are far in their practice and you're like, wow, like, how can you do that? And then maybe you try and you're like, wow, I'm not very good at this. I don't want to do this again. And you're like, no, I'm going to keep trying it. I'm going to persevere here because eventually I'm going to get to this place where maybe I am really good at it, or I at least am feeling the benefits that pose brings, no matter what it looks like.
Yeah.
So it's worth the perseverance.
Okay, so I like that you brought up knowing that the end result is something that you really want.
It's worth it.
But the journey there is not going to be so pretty. And so I think if we're going to guide children in perseverance, how would that look like?
Right. How do we
Continue those baby steps to get to where we want to be.
I think this is a time where we can even look at conscious language. So, like a lot of kids, when they come to that roadblock, it doesn't show up as like, it does show up as something this isn't I want to do, but a lot of kids will get frustrated and say, I can't do it.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what you'll hear a lot from kids.
Yes.
When it comes to persevering, because the non-fun part will make it that's how I feel like that's just how it will show up for kids. Like they'll either tell you like, I don't like this, I don't want to do it, or they'll just be like, I can't do it. Even if you know very well, you're like, actually I've seen you do this before and you totally can, but that's how it'll feel and show up for them. So I think it could be a time to look at conscious language. So one thing I did with a class of 4-year-olds, which was really, really fun one time, was we eliminated the word can't from what we said. Like, in the mornings we talk about the word, but we wouldn't actually really focus on that word. We'd focus on things we can say instead of it, or even just like letting them know it's okay to ask for help. So instead of saying, I can't do this, hey, I need help with this. I did my best, and now I need a little bit of guidance. I need a little bit of help. So, for kids, I think it's going to look more like asking for help when times get difficult.
Yeah, and I think also that's where the tantrums come in and that body language, and they don't know how to express how they're feeling about not being able to do something right away.
Yeah. Right.
And we also want to make sure that we're not doing it for them either.
Yes.
That's really important. I see a lot of adults, even teachers, they'll just do it for them, and that's just showing them that you're good at this and they're not when you just kind of take over. So I think affirmations are really good. Instead of using the word can't, we just focus on I'm working on it or not yet.
I did my very best too.
Yeah.
I did my best and I need help is what I would have my kids tell me. Like they'd raise it like, I can't do this. And I'd be like, wait, how can we say that differently? And they'd think about it because we talk about it at circle time in the mornings, and I'd be like, have you tried your very best? And they're like, yes. And so I was like, well, how can you ask for help? Or how can I support you?
Yeah.
And so making it more not like it's a guiding, not a doing. You're guiding the children.
Yeah. And just lots of encouragement every step of the way. Like, look how far you've come. Look at what you just did. Like, this is exciting.
Yeah.
Even if
monumental.
Especially the praise after they've done it.
Yeah. Like, you thought you were unable to do this, and yet, here you are.
Yep.
I love it. Another thing that brings to mind for that is, remember the Benchmark Kids course?
Yes.
Shout out Benchmark.
Woo-woo!
They had a practice during one of the kids courses that was the throwaway comments.
Yes.
And so anytime you heard somebody say, I can't do this, or I'm
Or
not good at
negative,
this, or anything
anything.
negative, we wrote it down. And then they went and threw it away.
Yeah.
Adults included. Everybody
Oh, yeah.
in the classroom participated in it.
And
And it's something that stuck with me. Like,
she tells me throw
all the time, if I hear her say something negative, I'm like, isn't that a throwaway comment?
Yeah.
I need to write that down and toss it out. Like,
throw it out. That is not.
that's
no.
not how we talk.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, I like to make it fun with my kids too when they're like, I can't, and the word can't, I just get so triggered, and that's one of my things that I'm working on. I'm like, I go, wait a second, wait, go backwards, go back, let's try that again. What did you really want to say? Because you can't do it, so let's think of something else. And like, I like animate it for them, so then they kind of get more like, oh, she's really like interested in this.
Yes.
She's, you know. Yeah,
It's
children and the word
Well,
can't.
and then it comes into our perseverance with
Yes.
the kids.
Yeah.
Because it can be a tiring process. Sometimes you'll feel like they should know this by now. No, you're good. Childhood teaching children is constant
Yes.
reassurance, reteaching, your repetition.
Repetition,
That is
yeah.
the word I was looking for. It is constant
Persevering,
repetition.
get that word.
I know. I was like, it's coming. It's
I'm
coming.
here to support you.
Repetition. It is repetition. Even when you think they should have mastered it, repetition. And it really shows up well when you can do the repetition with a grateful heart, with a helping heart, I guess I would say.
Yeah. And also, I think modeling best practices, once again, is really important.
Yes.
And if we can't do something and they see that, I'm going to take a break because I know I can do this. However, it's not working for me right now. So I need to think of ways where I can do this. So let me think. Maybe I should ask for help. Oh, can you help me? And they'll like see that process and
Yeah.
how we figured it out.
Really animate
And
it.
kept going. Yeah, I love that.
You have to. And over again, because they're always watching.
Yes.
Always.
Make it interesting and exciting.
Yes.
And I love that. When they cheer you on too. Like you
Oh,
said,
yes.
always like be rooting for them.
And
always.
yeah, the reassurance after they do it, or like even just the reassurance, like, look how you asked for help, like, thank you, let's do this
Yeah.
together. So you're reassuring them, like, thank you for asking for help. You're and then after, like, oh my gosh, look it, you did this almost all by yourself. I only had to help you very tiny bit. Maybe next time we can find a way you can do it all by yourself. Stuff like that really ties it together, and it's the stuff that they remember.
Yeah.